But I guess the same thing for Sonic with the landing after spring. Anyway, we're gonna give this a watch.
They have like 7 of a high level over in Japan, and I might be missing some.
But nonetheless, speaking of characters, we have Peli repping his usual Captain Falcon versus Peli.
So I'm astounded you didn't. I gotta say, I'm astounded you didn't take that much damage there, because you literally just did empty like spin dash jumps.
Is not, to be trusted in an enclosed environment, because we definitely do not.
So I thought this was really clean. I really like using like up tilt being used.
For Sonic in particular.
Yeah, it's not a bad stage for him at all.
But this is nice.
Able to mix up his landing a lot better with the platforms and
Yeah,
also,
see, like, he punished it correctly there because you burned all your options.
Right, Fatality going deep, immediately just showing Peli what's up. As soon as you're off stage, I will be out there. I have no problem pressuring you. My character can do some pretty insane things.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, but that's the eye though. That was fantastic. Yeah, no, but I don't think Fatality is going to be able to make it back from this. Oh, and as I said,
I'm so upset he made it back after that.
He was trying to go for the angled downwards forward smash. Oh, but he held down by the ledge.
So he would get 2-frame, and Peli was going exclusively for the 2-frame timing. Fatality making such a smart play to get himself out of disadvantage.
See, Fatality is really good at covering. Fatality was like incredibly good at covering Sonic trying to land after they burned options.
Smart at taking advantage of the command grab that his.
But like, there were some other times where I was like, how did you get away with this? He was so bad at punishing like people just doing spin dashes.
And just in that instant, getting the back throw kill.
This is why Fatality is such a dangerous player. A character like Falcon, goes from being a noob stomper at low level, and then at mid level you don't really see him, and then at high level you really don't see him. Oh, that was almost his life.
He waited so hard for that air dodge, but Peli, being aware of the situation, managed to air dodge.
Dude, how the fuck did you win this game? Like, you nearly died there. You nearly got 2 stars.
He's so aggressive, but he's being aggressive in a very smart way.
Yeah, that was really good coverage on the recovery.
That back air as he recovered a little too high above the
I feel like in this game, like, you kind of eked out the win because he was catching you pretty easily on all of your whenever you were landing it, or like when you were trying to bait in neutral, he was just dash grabbing you.
Once again, I know he's starting to fear being at the ledges because of Fatality.
But he wasn't even giving you a chance to set up your standard pressure.
Fatality's just doing a really good job at pressuring Peli altogether on his landings. I'm really not able to see Peli take advantage of the stage in general. I actually see this man lingering above Fatality more than anything.
I like the way Peli's playing now that he's got his speed back on the stage. He's actually slowing it down, making sure that Fatality whips a move, because Sonic's whip punish ability is among the best in the game, and he knows that.
Yeah, so that was like good standard Sonic play.
And then put him at disadvantage, rinse and repeat.
And now Peli having Fatality in the situation where he kept him off stage, and as you notice,
yeah, see, that was what you did a lot. I thought you were going to die there, and there were situations in both games 2 and 3 where I thought you were going to die, because what you were doing a lot of is when you were spin dashing, and you were immediately double jumping out of the spin dash, and putting yourself right above him. We all know Sonic does struggle to land for the most part. So I'm like, so I saw you do this, and we're going to go back a couple of frames, so it's like when you're not getting hit. But he's done the correct thing, because you've literally put yourself right here. Like, you're like right here, and you've burned your double jump, so your options for getting down are already limited as hell. But because you double jumped there and pulled yourself back, it was pretty obvious that you were going to end up right above him, and you did it enough times for him to start trying to punish it. So you got punished for it there, and you did just about survive. But it was so close. And you could tell you were holding it in by the way you DI'd it. And dude, I need to go back and see that. Like, I can't quite remember how exactly you took it. Did he just? He just dropped shield. He just got hit. We take those, man.
I didn't expect that at all. I thought Fatality had the game wrapped up.
He was just
yeah, I understand. Like, you don't want to go off stage because it's so terrifying. But like, the point is, it was a very binary way you were doing it. It was either
down the game completely, but notice how he was able to have more control on that stage when he just was able to land and actually do stuff and not get pressured off stage and by the ledge against Fatality.
Speaking of pressure,
look.
I don't think he feels any pressure at all.
He's trying to meditate. He's trying to relax.
Dude, I have no idea what the fuck meditating things about. Look at Esam in the background. I only just noticed that. Dude, I only just saw that. Fucking Esam. What are you doing, fam? Shake my head. But the way you were doing but what I was saying, the way you were doing the cancelling on the spin dashes was kind of binary. Let me use this. So you'd spin dash, and you'd go and you'd fade way off, or you'd immediately double jump back. There was no waiting. There was no immediate spin dash back. It was either you fade right off you either fade right off with the spin dash, or you immediately double jump back. There was very little in between those, which I think would have been more helpful for your mix-up game. I think you do change it up a little bit more later on, but in that game in particular, it was very binary.
It doesn't have to every game. You just gotta calm yourself down, because when you play a character that's such an adrenaline junkie like Falcon, you gotta calm yourself.
I know what you mean. You can spin dash, double jump, spin dash back. I know the deal. But it's like you get what I mean. Like you could have done spin dash, jump, double jump, spin dash. But like it was just a case of mixing it up after not successful, like not getting the not connecting the spin dash. See, there we go. You mixed it up there. You did the lyric dash, which is a tech I named personally, and I'm very proud of.
Any competitive game really, to be able to say, hey, take it slow down, you're doing well.
But like, yeah, something like that. Like, that was a better mix-up, and you caught him out.
Exactly. It's actually a really strong mental.
So that entire thing there was pretty good mix-ups.
So here you have Fatality catching his landings once again, but notice how slow he's playing now.
Yeah.
He's not pressing as many buttons as we were used to seeing, especially from that first stock of the first game.
And I think that's the product of Peli playing the second stock the way he did, making Fatality miss all those buttons, and then having him, take all.
I do like that you never immediately air dodged out of the You never immediately air dodged after getting down to it. That's the most common scrubby thing I see done. I hate it when I see people do it, because I'm just like, dude, stop this.
A really good job at catching Peli's landings with these up airs, actually. And
just gonna put this into 40 just because my broadcast is struggling.
Only at 84%.
Whiffing a grab there, because spin dash low profile, and Lila was totally.
Yeah, that was a good back effort on his part.
Going so deep, catching him with, again, his command grab on the recovery.
Delaying that recovery so we can just avoid the possibility of
getting good stuff, good stuff. Yeah.
For a lot of characters, it will just catch you when you're not expecting it, and it'll take the stocks super early. Spin dash back here, not going to.
I'm astounded that didn't kill you, know.
Fatalities. Now he's gonna get off this ledge, finds his way back down.
See, there you go. You did it there. You did the thing that we just said about. You did the spin dash, double jump, spin dash back, and it caught him. It was very different from what you had been doing. So props. You listened. You listened to my coaching about a month later. About a month after I did the coaching.
Okay, I was actually a little scared there. Oh,
yeah, that was really nice. When I saw this, I thought you were gonna 2-0 him, because I was like, dude, really?
But unfortunately, it was just gonna be guaranteed at that point, because he had to actually get closer to the stage and go on and recover.
Alright, so Peli again with a nice right here in Sonic.
It was just kind of unfortunate that the up air didn't work there properly.
Max raise Sonic plus spin dash that does 10, 15, 20% per conversion, along with spin charge doing equal amounts. Okay.
Yeah. So he just baited you pretty good there.
But Peli managing to get 31% of Fatality before having to start his stock anew.
All that damage is coming right back, 37%.
It's like how he did it all back in one stock. That was kind of it. Good. That was a good get up attack. Yeah. See, there's the punish on that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Spin charge has a mix-up when it hits shield. If you do not press any buttons, it stops right in front
So that was really good pressure, but he even kind of weathered the storm. But there was another where like he jumped and ended up right in front of him, which he kind of caught onto and was up airing you out of it.
Yeah, it's such good use of it, because it's also a pressure tool. It shows you that, yeah, you can try to hold shield against me, but definitely understand that I have an answer to it.
Oh, catching that roll from a mile away. And now Peli jumping away, not giving down the air dodge.
That was such a random like down tilt, and the way how it worked.
Homing attack was the only way Peli was going to get back, as Peli used it to detect the hurt box that he could use to come back to the stage, i.e. fatality situation. So what did he do? Ran clear across the stage, out of the range of homing attack, so he couldn't recover.
Yeah, I liked his spacing on the forward tilt there too, actually.
Yeah, it was such a.
You notice he was sticking out.
It was such an optimal option.
First, and then when he saw that Peli had
Peli,
to
please,
land
you know what I
off
mean?
his leg again,
It was like it was an unexpected option.
Doing the jab once again, he ended up doing the forward tilt instead.
All right, we're going to see if Fatality can avoid this international upset early on in Genesis pools. This is round 1 pools, people.
Yeah.
This isn't the qualifier for the main bracket.
This isn't even the final form of the bracket.
Exactly. So imagine having a player of Fatality's caliber, of his danger, of his threat level, and that was character.
And that's what I love now. We are starting anew in a season as well, so there's actually a good amount on the line here.
Yeah, these are implications. Like this set could easily just be, you know, it could go from being a what if to the beginning of Peli's PGR-V5, you know, case.
Exactly, and Peli repping the UK, I'm sure they're definitely cheering him on from home. He's doing a fantastic job, as you can see
Damn right,
now.
Vicky, you know I was cheering.
And doing basically a fatality to him last game on Lila with the up airs, except catching his landing now.
Alright, such a large percent lead for Peli, man. 80-ish% right now, 37 to 111, but Fatality's starting to put on damage just a tiny bit. 2 jabs into a potential mix-up right there on the ground, but Peli just jumped out.
I feel like like.
Alright, Peli's just the greatest killer.
I want to point out that like he was clearly waiting for you to do spin dashes and stuff, but when they were actually coming towards him, he was never ready.
So Peli's gonna get a grab of his own.
Well, he wasn't ready very often. I don't know. Maybe he would just got cold feet about the way he was doing it. But like, there was another one of those down airs towards the ledge. That was clearly a miss input, I'm assuming. Like, there's no way you tried to do that. Yeah, I thought like he was gonna start jabbing your stuff constantly here.
Once again, because trying to catch Sonic is such a difficult thing. He's on the way up from that move, so he's just making sure he puts out this long, extended.
Yeah, it's actually.
So yeah, you're playing like mad patient here, and I really rate it. Because it's so terrifying trying to play patient versus Falcon when you know he can just dash grab and teleport across the stage.
And now Peli does not have to overextend at this point. He has 105%.
Yeah, and you were pretty chill there, but there was another sort of like floaty up air, floaty spin dash jump.
Europe does not get a whole lot of representation outside of Europe at all. So when we come to big events like this, we look for the international killers. But Peli, I don't think he was on anyone's list of international killers unless they were from the UK themselves, you know? Not a lot of people maybe would have known that he would play Fatality in pools and saw something like this, you know?
Yeah, that was... I remember seeing that, I was like, no, where did you go for it?
On the ledge, it covers such a big amount of space, and it can be potentially because Peli keeps recovering onto the ledge from above, not so much from below. And it's because he's trying to avoid down.
Exactly. So, Fatality clearly has something to say about the conversation.
Yeah, see, that was like a really good stuff on his part. I was so terrified he was gonna go for another nair, because I think it would have killed out there.
Oh, making the up airs and trying to go for the up air knee there, but unfortunately not going to confirm.
Falcon running faster than Sonic can spin. Clear across the stage to avoid it. Peli's going to land right there, put on some damage, and he uses that short hop up air, a very underrated tool from Sonic players. Get some people up in the jungle so they have to.
We know about the short hop up air.
Yeah. Actually, cutting Fatality's momentum there a little short. Peli now basically evening out this game.
So much damage. She took the lead on the one spin charge confirmed, and now Fatality's in a very dangerous spot here. As we try to land, Peli gets out of the way of those jabs. Using the spring after
the way how you did the spring again, I don't think he expected you to go for it again.
He just skips that entire step completely.
He is off stage. He's finally going to recover from below.
Recovers that avoid Falcon dive. He's actually making very smart
plays.
Oh
yeah, and here's the roll you punished.
Oh my God! Peli gets it from the full sort of the stage, and that is.
See, the thing is, this is actually quite a hard set to give any sort of critique or coaching for, because you're actually playing it really well, obviously, and it's at such a level that it's very difficult to pick on any specific thing. So, just noticed a student name. But yeah, the only thing like I really picked up on was you kind of didn't do much later on. The method of recovery I felt was for the most part the correct way of recovery. Like, you know, strictly speaking, like the F tilt he did was godlike. I didn't even think of that as an option. That's why I said it was random, because it's an option that didn't even occur to me to do. But it worked. So, the way you were playing very patient, and you were doing the right thing when you were getting hit. Like, you weren't mashing out an air dodge, which is the worst thing you can do versus a Falcon, especially one that knows what he's doing. But yeah, I don't know, like there wasn't much. There really wasn't much to pick at. The only thing I really could have picked at was like the fact that you were doing the floaty spin dash jump right above him a fair bit, or even just double jumping. But like you were basically putting yourself right above him after a spin dash jump, which is, you know, we all know that's risky, but there's really not a whole lot you can do in that situation. But I did feel like you put yourself right above him a bit too often. You do have the, you know, the bonus that Falcon really can't kill vertically. But if he was really feeling himself, we'll see if I can find the situation that happened. 1 second.
The nice auto cancel frames.
Yeah. Actually, cutting Fatality's momentum there a little short. Peli now basically evening out this game.
So much damage. He took the lead on the one spin charge confirmed, but now Fatality's in a very dangerous spot here. Has to try to land. Peli gets out of the way of those jabs.
No, you actually. I don't think they've gone back far enough. Yeah, no.
Bad landing, so he just skips that entire step completely.
He is off stage. He's finally going to recover from below.
Avoid Falcon.
Yeah, no, I've missed everything. Let me go back a little bit further, see if I can find a situation where it happened.
Of the international killers, unless they were from the UK themselves, you know? Right. Not a lot of people maybe would have known that he would play Fatality in pools and saw something like this, you know?
Game 3, but oh my goodness.
We'll see if I can find a bit.
Fatality using his tilts to his advantage.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that while they're not far, while they're not aggro, the speed that top players play at is so fast.
Exactly. So, Fatality clearly has something to say about the conversation we were just having. They starting to get some offense going. You step up that once again, but Peli avoids it this time because he got caught with that 3-4 times. Like he said, that's the last time you're getting it on me.
Up air started. Up airs and trying to go for the up air knee there, but unfortunately not going to confirm.
Falcon running faster than spin. Than Sonic can spin. Clear across the stage to avoid it. Peli's gonna land right there, put on some damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where you start. It starts going.
Underrated tool from Sonic players. Get some people up in the jungle situation. Have the nice auto cancel frames.
Yeah, no, this is where everything started going right. I need to go back even further.
So he's just making sure he puts out this long, extended.
Yeah, it's actually humongous. So it's really simple for him to catch him, and especially if Peli's trying to be the one to ledge pressure him, but he gets the angle downward forward smash on the ledge against Fatality, and now Peli does not have to overextend at this point. He has 105%, and he does not need to be the.
So in that situation, that is basically the situation I was looking for. What? Because he went for the up air. But you were coming in and fading in on top of him. So if he had been really ballsy, because like he knew you were going to be above him, but what you were going to do is you were going to fade down, probably land with either a narrow and up air. If he'd have done the up smash at a shield, it probably would have worked on you there, because you weren't looking for that, and that was really the only thing he could have done there that would have killed you. But I suppose this is, you know, why you were doing it against Falcon, I guess, because he's not really going to go for that. But you definitely could have been punished harder in these situations. But I don't know. I think I've just watched too much Sonic in my lifetime, and I just kind of understand when they're going for certain things at this point. But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really uncommon. So it's not an option you'd think of, but it's definitely, like, it would have been the harder punish on what you were going to do. But like, I don't know, like that's so it's not like I can't really pick you up on that because it's not an option you'd expect to see because the up air is strictly a faster and safer option. I don't know. I mean, as long as you mix it up enough to make it difficult for them to read, you're not really going to get these hard punishes. But I feel like Fatality could have gone for those, particularly in a situation like this where he wasn't going to lose a whole lot by getting hit with like a weak nair or a, one hit up air. I don't know. There's, like I said, that it's really hard to pick on anything in this set. I mean, it was a great watch. I love watching this set. It's always good to watch back these wins, man. But yeah, you played it pretty solidly, which is kind of joke because we don't actually really have a Falcon in the UK. Not like a high level one. Like, I mean, Will's was good when he used it, and I know Minimo uses it, but I don't know if it's as good as Mewtwo. And I suppose you've got JJ as well, but other than that, not really. Anyway, if you just have any questions, let me know. If there's anything in particular you wanted to know about, because I feel like that would be, for a player who's significantly better than me in terms of where they place and how they play, it would be a lot easier for them to ask me questions and for me to answer them than it is for me to just have a VOD and then be like, here you go. I don't understand how JJ does it. Like, he's a really chill guy, so there's nothing against him. But I don't understand how people beat him. Or how he like takes sets from people, and I'm like, right. Anyway, I'm gonna go on to my last one for today. Do I think Fatality is good at the matchup? He knew what he was supposed to do, but I feel like because Sonic is, in my opinion, Sonic's one of the top who's still got the most meta growth to go, because he's played in such a different way by all these different Sonics that are at a really high level. Like, the difference between you and Aperture and Ixis alone is huge, and you're all very, very strong. You watch any Sonic and they play the character way differently. So I feel like while he knew what he was supposed to do, he was playing against the Wrath style Sonic in his head. And you were doing a lot of different things that were tripping him up. Like, I saw him run into a lot of spin dash things that he could have beaten. Like, when you were doing the slow fall like spin dash and then like doing like the short hop up air, right? The short hop spin dash jump thing that you got, and then into the up air, he could have just dash attacked the landings. And although it might have traded, it would have still been better than getting hit. But I feel like he wasn't prepared for that. So yes, I do think he was good at the matchup, but I think he was just not 100% ready for you rather than for Sonic. But hey, it was definitely better than most people would be at the matchup. But that's because he has Wrath in his region, isn't it? So. Right, I'm gonna load up my last set for today, which is one from Snackington. And yes, I am cutting the stream off early today, unfortunately.